He didn't get that from me.
That's been known a long time.
He didn't get that from me.
Hey! May I bother you for a moment?
It's you. I never thought I'd see your face again. It's very brave of you to show up here. There was a time we would have skinned you alive. You can be glad that was a few weeks ago, and we've all calmed down.
What are you doing here?
My task is to find out more about the guardians of the temple. That is a tough nut, let me tell you. These stone sentinels have a characteristic that is utterly foreign to me. One moment they're standing around completely lifeless, and the next they're attacking you like they're possessed. I still haven't been able to determine their driving power, but one thing is sure, it is of magical origin.
Tell me more about these stone sentinels.
I can't tell you much so far. Unfortunately, we have had to destroy them. Now, they aren't dangerous. When we came here, they attacked us. We could only defeat them with our combined power, and I'm afraid there are even more waiting for us behind the portal. There must be a way to banish their driving force, so that they remain nothing more than statues.
Can you sell me some equipment?
Why not? If I remember correctly, we've already done business. Tell me what you need.
I knew that would be a problem. It can't go on like this forever.
Hey!
He would have never thought of that himself.
Busy?
These vaults are one big mystery for me. It's hard to imagine that no one else found them before now. We were able to uncover the entrance without difficulty. People are so occupied with their daily routine that no one looked more closely at this structure. I have no other explanation for it.
What is your task here?
I'm trying to find out where this round portal leads. Besides that, I help Nefarious look for the missing ornament. It is certain that this portal leads to another part of the island that we do not yet know. I can't remember ever having heard or read about that.
You really want to go through the portal?
Of course. Assuming we find that missing ornament, that is. I admit, it is a somewhat risky business. But we must absolutely find out what it has to do with these constant earthquakes.
What do you know about the earthquakes?
Something on the other side is causing them. The source is probably also causing the stone sentinels to awaken. But that isn't my job. Satyrus and Kronos can tell you more about that.
What do you think you will find over there?
I'm really not sure. I suspect that on the other side there will be a structure similar to this one, and a counterpart to this portal. Everything else we shall see when we get there.
Can you teach me anything about magic?
Once we're over there, I'll be at your disposal.
Hey, you! Hey! How's it going?
What are you doing here? This is certainly a surprise. I thought you had been killed.
Almost.
There was quite a fuss about you, you know that? I hardly recognized Satyrus. He was so beside himself about that business back then.
What sort of portal is that?
We suspect that it leads to the Lost Valley, where the ancient culture must have had their city. But the stone behind the portal is made of massive rock, yards thick. Also, there are no signs of teleportation magic. Very mysterious.
Do you know how to activate it?
One of the missing ornaments seems to be a sort of magical key, We'll need it to get any further. It has to fit exactly into the ring-shaped hollow next to the portal.
Hey! Everything all right?
It's very brave of you to just walk in here.
What are you doing here?
I'm studying the language of the builders. The language is the key to understanding the ancient people. Each one of us must learn it, or this expedition will be over before it even begins. The builders use stone tablets to pass on their knowledge. Unfortunately, many of them are broken or were stolen long ago.
What's on these stone tablets, then?
They contain the collected knowledge of the ancient people. Some of them increase knowledge of combat and magic by magical means. For someone who can read the tablets, they are a real treasure.
Can you teach me to read the language?
Well, why not? I'll gladly pass on my knowledge to you.
Teach me that language.
We'll start with something easy. To begin with, I can teach you the language of the peasants. As a rule, texts written in the language of the peasants deal with worldly matters such as work, love, or obtaining food. It was the common language of the city. You will be able to understand most of the text found here if you know it. Go and test your new knowledge. You will see that the scriptures of the builders are no longer an unsolvable mystery for you.
Teach me that language.
You already know the language of the peasants. The language of the warriors is somewhat harder. Texts written in the language of the warriors mostly deal with weapons and war. You will learn some useful things there. Go and test your new knowledge. You will see that the scriptures of the builders are no longer an unsolvable mystery for you.
Teach me that language.
The high language of the priests is truly difficult to understand, but I will gladly show you. Above all else, the Holy Scriptures, which explain the history and magic of the creators, are written in the language of the priests. Each of these texts is a real treasure, if one understands their meaning. Go and test your new knowledge. You will see that the scriptures of the builders are no longer an unsolvable mystery for you.
Teach me that language.
There is nothing more that I can show you. You have now mastered the language of the builders.
Put that weapon down!
Hey, you're not quite as stupid as you look.
What with? Hey! What are you doing?
I'm studying the culture of the ancient people. Based on the inscriptions, they lived long before our time. I don't know exactly when they erected these halls, but their civilization was highly developed. They built a city on the other side of the mountains, and a temple for Adonos.
A lost city on the island of Corinus?
Yes. Until now, we lived in the belief that we knew the whole island. We assumed that the entire northeast of the island was one enormous mountain range. But we were wrong. Behind these mountains lies a valley. The city of the ancient people was located there. I would only too gladly see the buildings of the city, but they have probably fallen to dust long ago.
How old do you think this place is?
Well, I still can't say exactly, but it must be several hundred years old.
Vatras gave me this amulet of the searching will-o'-the-wisp.
Ah, a rare artifact. You can use it to train the will-o'-the-wisp. Do you know that?
Can you help me with that?
Gladly. I've worked with this sort of magic for a long time.
Hey!
Are you mad? Get out of here. It's too dangerous in these vaults for a would-be adventurer. But say, don't I know you? Of course, you bastard. Don't think that I could have forgotten how you betrayed us in the new camp. You drained our mound of ore of all magic power, and then simply disappeared. What exactly did you think you were doing?
It was necessary. Without the power of the ore, I could never have defeated the Sleeper.
What sort of drivel is that? Sleeper? Defeated? Do you have the slightest idea what you have done? You have confused the structure of magic so much that it could be heard back in Corinus. Count yourself lucky that the barrier simply collapsed one day.
What are you complaining about? It all worked out all right.
Mind your tongue. What the blazes do you want here anyway?
I came here with Lars.
Lares? Really? Where is he?
I'm alone. Lars went back to the city.
What? And he sent you to us alone? What was he thinking?
I brought your ornament.
What in all the world is that supposed to mean? Who gave you that? Don't tell me that Lares simply handed it over to you.
Come off it now. I brought it to you. You do want it, don't you?
Certainly, but it disturbs me that you have your hand in the game once again.
Why are you making such a big deal about that old business with the ore mound? After all, I already worked for you back then, and you can't say that I was unreliable.
And what did it ultimately get me? Just don't think that I trust you.
Why is this ornament so important to you?
It is the key to a portal. I shall not tell you more.
I belong to the Ring of Water now.
As I see, you bear our secret sign, the aquamarine ring, and I see in your eyes that you speak the truth. Very well. I shall accept your entrance into our ranks. But bear in mind that this comes with a great responsibility, and I hope for your sake that you'll do it justice.
What are you doing down here?
These halls conceal ancient secrets, mysterious secrets. The inscriptions and murals indicate a very ancient culture. Everything you can see here is written in a language completely unknown to us. We are only just beginning to learn it and grasp its meaning.
What sort of strange earthquakes are those?
That is one of the puzzles I am trying to solve. The structure of magic is being disturbed somewhere behind these mountains. Quite obviously, someone is trying with all of his might to break a powerful magic. I fear it will not be long before the entire island is plagued by these tremors. Since there's no way of stopping you from keeping the other mages from doing their work, you might as well take a message from me to one of them. Tell Riordian that I wish to see him here. He's in the rear part of the vault. You will find him there.
Hey, you! Sachiras wants to see you.
Has he gotten further with his investigation? Then I will go to him immediately.
What is the fastest way back to the city?
I recommend you go back the same way you came. But you could also... No, that would be too dangerous.
Out with it.
Well, the builders of these halls had their own method of traveling. As far as we can tell, they could teleport.
That's nothing special.
The teleporter stones that we found here in Corinus are special indeed. It seems as though the teleporter stone here in these halls may lead to the harbor city. However, none of us had the courage to try it.
Where's this teleporter stone?
There is a door in the basin room. I have locked it up behind there.
What if I were to try to use it?
No idea. We know too little about it. It is possible you wouldn't survive.
Give me the key. I want to take a look at this thing.
Really? But I take no responsibility for it.
Give it here.
If you say so, here it is.
Where are the other teleporter stones?
So far, we've only found one other somewhere in the middle of Corinus, near the Dead Harpy Tavern.
Wait a minute. The teleporter stones seem to work nicely.
You actually did it? You really went in?
Yes, they obviously still work.
Unbelievable. I have to look at this more closely later.
Nothing there.